Okay. Hello, everybody. My name is John Johnson. I just want to welcome everybody out to this call. Tonight, we're going to be talking a lot about Kala, Nui, symmetry, and a lot of different things in a big project that we've been working on for a long time that we're very excited about. First, I want to kind of introduce you to our CEO, Darren Allian. I'm not playing the video in this presentation only because you cannot hear it, but you can receive a copy of this presentation, listen to the video. But let me give you a couple highlights of what Darren was talking about. So what makes us different or unique? A lot of blockchain companies, and we'll talk a little bit about blockchain in this presentation as well, but a lot of blockchain companies are being built specifically to mine. We do mine, we work with mining groups, Mintage Mining in particular, but we are going much further and we're creating a basically infrastructure for other companies to come and use our 3 working blockchains that we currently have. We are doing blockchain a little bit differently. We're basically, we don't want to bet on one horse, as we hear a lot of our leaders talk about, but we're building the entire racetrack where other companies can come in and use our technology. And the question I get a lot is, why would other companies come and use our blockchain versus creating their own? Well, first of all, in order to have a working blockchain solution and a very effective one, it takes specialized programming. Not everybody knows how to just build a blockchain. So some companies could say, look, I'm going to create my own blockchain and throw millions or even billions of dollars at it, and it may or may not work the way they want. We've got proven working blockchain systems that companies can come to and use right now. And it's not their primary business model. You know, if you're a hospital, you want to deal with patients, you want to do things like that. I worked for years selling medical collections to surgical centers, hospitals, other groups, and even though they could have done it in-house, a lot of them chose to farm it out to third parties because, quite simply, it was not their primary business model. They were not interested. Blockchain's very similar. That, you know, they'll use third parties if they see that that third party has a good solution. So there could be a lot of different reasons why. The important thing is not why. The important thing is that, yes, we do have companies wanting to use our blockchain solution. And as you will see throughout this year, especially, a lot of different public announcements being made and companies entering our ecosystem. And I'll talk a lot about our ecosystem. So let's talk a little bit about the value of a blockchain network. Now, what I always tell people to do, get with the person who invited you to this call or to this presentation and ask them a little bit about blockchain. You know, usually if they're already a member of our organization, they should have a general idea of what blockchain is, how it works, things of that sort. Or go ahead and Google blockchain. You can even ask the member who invited you to share some articles from Nui Educate, things of that sort. There's a lot of things. Nui, we don't only have a coin and a blockchain, but we have a whole education module that you can go through and learn a lot about blockchain. But basically, there's centralized platforms and decentralized platforms. And where companies are very, very interested is in a decentralized platform. They do not require all data to pass through a single point. Instead, many points connect, known as peer-to-peer. So what a decentralized network does is it relies on a host of computers working together. Blockchain cannot work with a single computer or point of connection. And that structure, the advantages it has are things such as fault tolerance, attack resistance, collusion resistance, increased security, which is the number one that I know they hear all the time. People are very, very interested in them because of the security that it presents for their company using a blockchain. Now, I know a lot of us in the corporate world out there, we're hearing the word blockchain come up over and over and over again. I know I've been in real estate for decades, and a lot of title companies, a lot of mortgage companies, a lot of people in real estate are moving over looking for solid blockchain solutions. So it's something that is getting out there. It's not the cryptocurrency to me that makes me excited. It's the technology behind the cryptocurrency, and we'll talk a little bit more about that as well. So when decentralization is combined with wide distribution, even a larger system is created. In this way, a true decentralized and distributed network becomes valuable and attractive to companies, entities, and users. So let's skip a little bit. I don't want to just read through this whole thing, but let's talk about what Kala is doing it, and people can go back and read this and reference it as much as they like. But building a Kala network, Nui has joined the race to build the needed infrastructure or networks for the blockchain applications of the future. Before much of the world was even realizes a race has begun. Through Symmetry's Kala cryptocurrency, a network of miners are earning early block rewards while growing a decentralized distributed network. And I'll discuss why this is important here in a second. When the network reaches the target threshold, our target threshold of 40 petahashes with 10,000 mining rigs or nodes, it will be placed among the top blockchain and or cryptocurrency networks in the world. Okay, so we want to create one of the largest networks out there because we want companies coming to us. We want the guys to look at this and say, hey, we're one of the big guys. We're serious. You know, we don't just have this Kala coin. And I can tell you right now, a lot of companies, and I'll go through a little article, not an article, but a little blurb in this presentation as well, where it talks about basically, you know, over 2,000 cryptocurrencies and over 1,000 of them are pretty much worthless. Why? Because there's nothing really substantial behind it. We don't want that. We want to be the guy that has a lot of substance behind what we're doing, behind our coin, behind our call. We want this network. We want these nodes. I'm not going to go into all the deep definitions on what a node is and all that kind of stuff. That stuff you can do on your own. Use your own due diligence, study, speak with the person who presented this opportunity to you, whatever. That's where you're going to learn all of this stuff. But one thing I really love about what we're doing, we keep talking about this great decentralized network, and what makes us different and what makes us unique is we, the members, are the network. When you can have hundreds of thousands of members worldwide receiving your coin, and then eventually spending your coin, eventually trading your coin, eventually selling your coin, doing all of those things, all of those transactions will organically happen. That's going to help create value for your coin, and I'll get a lot more into what we're doing to help assist with the valuation of our coin. But the one thing I'm really excited about, we don't just talk about it, we can actually prove it. So from a public announcement on NASDAQ, December 20th, 2018, it talks about Only funds and a launch of a $250 million fund being focused to create this ecosystem. Okay, this ecosystem for Kala, and they didn't come in and invest in Nui. Nui is a marketing company, but they're investing in the overall ecosystem of what is being created. And you can read about it. It's public news. Okay, there's several other articles. If you click on this link, you can look on there. There's 3 other articles right on the right of it that are related to it, and you can read about other companies and other groups that are part of this massive project to help create a worldwide blockchain solution and ecosystem for the coin that we as members have, and you as a prospects are going to learn about how you can start receiving this cryptocurrency. Very exciting for you. So this is just a little blurb from this article. Based on decades of exposure to the evolving world of data and the misuse and monetization of data, PRTT, big pharmaceutical company, have put in $40 million for this project, has changed its focus to creating an ecosystem tools to help people and empower them to protect their data and their business from being exploited. Medical records to credit scores to home ownership to blockchain is creating new economies. Okay, people really need to learn about what's going on with cryptocurrency. When asking David Childs, for those of you who do not know who David Childs is, he's the CEO of Mintage Mining, which does business with Nui, Symmetry. They're aligned with us. Okay, David Childs is one of our guys. CEO of Mintage Mining and IMD. Why he chose to align with Only Chain, he stated, technology like ours needs to be shared with the world. The quicker we can get it out there, the more people will be able to take control of their lives. Only Chain has a vision and network to get our technology out to the world. Mr. Childs added, there is a new wave of human connection and control on its way. And those two entities saw that together they can impact the masses in a shorter amount of time. The blockchain technology will be the next era of business, personal control, creating a secure and transparent world. So really cool stuff. So we're not just saying, hey, we're creating this big ecosystem, as you can see in our white paper right here. So if you're really looking at this company, you're really looking at a call, say, hey, if I'm going to invest in any cryptocurrency, which one do I want to select? Which cryptocurrency would I like to invest in? Or do I want to invest in a whole bunch of other ones? I don't know. But do your due diligence. Read our white paper. Read about the ecosystem we're creating, and read those articles to prove that we are creating an ecosystem. We're not just saying we're creating one. There's proof in all of these public. I love the fact that we have other companies and they're making public statements that anybody can access and say, hey, we're part of this ecosystem. So it's not coming from us. It's not coming from Nui. It's not coming from Symmetry. It's coming from other third-party companies who have put their money in. It's basically, here it is. Here's their proof. I absolutely love that. That's why I like people. I say, look, go and read this. Don't take my word for it. Don't listen to what I'm saying. You go see if we're creating this ecosystem or not, because we are. And it's easy to choose. So right here, Kala Coin IO, Kala's road to the public exchange. So one thing, a big mistake that other cryptocurrencies have made in the past is they rush to the exchanges. They open the coin, they launch, and now some of it was by design. And let me explain what I mean by that. Some of these companies were trying to raise capital to create their company, to create their product or service or whatever it is. So it's almost like, hey, we need to sell a bunch of this coin to be able to create this, and it wasn't complete, it wasn't finished. So a lot of the valuation, what happened is they went to the exchange, and through speculation, pure speculation, they went right up to the top, and then they just kind of crashed because there's nothing backing it. There's no substance behind it. Kala doesn't want that. They have these other third-party companies getting involved in this project. They want to keep them happy. They want to keep the members happy. They want true, stable valuation for their coin to protect all of us, not just the members, but their big groups coming into this ecosystem. That's very, very important for Kala to accomplish. So right here, let me see. Hopefully, if I change the screen here, you guys can still see it. If not, I'll just click on New Share to share my screen. Can you guys see that okay? Hopefully. If you can't, somebody unmute yourself and tell me. But Kala's road to the public exchange. Basically, it says right here, in 2017, a record number of 875 initial coin offerings raised over $6.2 billion. Yes?
Cannot see.
You can't see it? Okay. Let me get on that real quick. How's that? Bam. There you go. So, in 2017, a record number of 875 initial coin offerings raised over $6.2 billion. Okay, but perhaps the most sobering statistic coming out of 2017 cryptocurrency boom is the growing number of digital currencies that have proven to be nearly worthless. In June 2018, dead coins listed 800 coins that are effectively worth nothing, while Coinopsy put the tally at more than 1,000. Again, going back to exactly what I said. Okay, they rushed to the exchanges. They had no substance. It was all speculation that increased value, and they became pump and dumps. We don't want that. We want a road to success. So what we're doing, again, we're constantly studying these other cryptocurrencies. We're looking at everything and said, how do you sustain value? It's very important to be able to sustain value. Okay, so Kala's strategy is different than many other cryptocurrencies. This is deliberate. We don't want to be another worthless coin statistic. We need to create value within internally, organic value that we have, that we can have value whether we're in an exchange or not. That is how you create stability. That's exactly the course that we're taking at Symmetry via Kala. That's why it's taking some time to get, our anticipated time is mid-2019 to be on the public exchanges. We'll have an internal exchange here later this month where members can go in, and I'll talk about that here in just a few minutes. But this is why we're doing it. So again, you can kind of click on what I love about this presentation is I have all of these links in here You can click on it and you can read everything that we're doing, and it's all in one place, right? It's easy to follow, it's easy to see, because it's important for you guys to be able to come on there as prospects or even members and look and see everything in one place. So you can read about the college road to the public exchange, you can read about their ecosystem, you can read the white paper, you can read about the public companies that have invested in this ecosystem. All of that stuff is all in one presentation, which I think is very important for everybody to be able to see. So let's go back to a secret to a thriving call it economy, and let me see if I can share that one too. Make sure you can see that. So again, same thing I was basically saying. We wanted to create a thriving call it economy even before the external exchange, because again, we don't want just a short-term spike in value. So we set up mining, we set up current partnerships, the Kala wallet, additional uses. Kala will continue to integrate uses in our own ecosystem. This includes core, reach, which we'll talk about a little bit towards the tail end of this presentation, leveraging the Kala network, all of those things that need to be done and built and put into place before going to the external public exchange to make sure we're doing things right. Because we have, I say we a lot. I don't work for Nui. I'm just an affiliate, just like you guys. But I just say we a lot because I think we're all a big Nui family. But basically, Nui has a moral obligation to all of the members and to their partners and everybody to do everything they possibly can to help create a stable value for their coin. And that's exactly what they're doing. That's what makes me so excited about Nui and everything that they're doing. So let's go back to the presentation here. See if right here, you should be able to see that. So again, just click on the bottom, coin.io, road to the public exchange. You can talk, and there's several different links on that. Just click on that, read through it yourself, and it gives you a much better idea of what Nui's doing. So this right here, put the puzzle pieces together. Again, this is a blurb from one of the public articles, PRTT, which is a pharmaceutical group who put $40 million into this venture. They didn't just hand $40 million to Nui. It's all part of the ecosystem. Okay, just want to make sure I make that clear. PRTT is in the process of building out a strong and capable team of advisors and venture partners. Together, we want to execute a mission whereby we assist the disruptive and promising projects with the ability to offer actual practical blockchain-enabled applications to benefit the global economy. You can click on the link below and it will take you right to that article. Okay, so again, the ecosystem. We talk a lot about the ecosystem that we're creating for Kala. We'll talk a lot more about CompChain and some of those other things, and ways that products and services will be sold using Kala. You can use Kala to purchase those products and services. We will get into that later once we're Nui and Symmetry gives us the green light to discuss more in detail about CompChain, because a lot of those deals are still being finalized, things are being put together, but things are moving. I can tell you right now, things are moving beautifully. So 8 reasons to acquire Kala. Again, there's a video right at the bottom of this. Click on the link and it goes through all 8 reasons. International network of users, Kala building its own ecosystem, which will allow people to purchase goods and services. You can click on that link, the public announcement regarding that. Kala raised millions of dollars in its initial offering. Kala has its own functioning crypto wallet with thousands of users, peer-to-peer listing network launching very soon later this month. The goal is before February 1st, so I believe it will happen right now. There's a beta test right now going on. Not many transactions going on in the beta because it's literally a test, but they're controlling it, keeping it small, keeping it light, but so far it's working great. Partnered with one of the world's leading cryptocurrency law firms, Jones Day. Feel free to look them up, do any research you need to on Jones Day. They know a lot about cryptocurrency. They're the people that keep us compliant and safe, which is great for all of us. Kala has launched its own working blockchain. 3 of them, Kala's got 1 blockchain, sorry. This entire project has 3 working blockchains. Already mined over 1 billion coins amongst thousands of users. So a lot going on. This is just kind of a slide that talks about, going back to the path of the path of success, sorry, and the internal use cases, which would be the peer-to-peer that we're talking about. We're starting February 1st. In order to come into Nui, you need at least 2,500 kala, okay? But you're going to have to purchase that kala from an existing member or through a listing on the peer-to-peer. That is an internal use case, right? That is something where you can create an internal demand for kala even prior to the public exchange, which is really awesome. So starting February 1st, everybody will have to use kala to enroll. So anybody you sign up, or if you come in, you sign up after that date, you're going to need kala to do it, which is awesome. This right here, this is kind of hard to see, kala coins tracking, but in that road to the public exchange, right on there, there's a link that takes you to a large PDF with all of this information on here as well that you can kind of see and read through it, and just kind of gives you, again, the idea of what they're building as far as an ecosystem. So enough about the background of kala. Again, do your own due diligence, research it. I, for one, am very, very, very big on kala for many, many different reasons. Okay, now let's talk about ways to receive kala, ways to mine kala. There's gigahash mining contracts, there's terahash mining contracts, or there's a physical kala rig that you can purchase and bring to your home, or have somebody service it for you outside of your home. Okay, so the gigahash mining contracts, I want to focus a lot on those in this presentation. The kala rig is great, but a lot of people, you look at the $4,000 plus shipping, $4,000 if you pretty much buy the same amount of terahash for Mintage to service it for you. Not service it, I guess, maintain it for you. But basically, a lot of people can't come up with $4,000. So there's a way to start receiving a less amount of kala monthly with $50, $100, $500, or $1,000. So there's a lot of ways to get in, start receiving kala, even at a very reasonable dollar amount. And the nice thing is the monthly fees are a lot less expensive. So let's talk about this a little bit. Let's say, for example, I wanted to go buy the 4,000 terahash or the gigahash. Now, where we're coming up with this 2-cent valuation, full disclosure, after we did our ITO at the time, we were a token at the time, now we're a coin, and we can explain what the difference is. Coins are mineable, where tokens are not mineable yet. Okay, so, and you can get into all of that stuff as you study more about cryptocurrency and blockchain. But we are at 2 cents right now because that's what we closed our initial token offering at, was at 2 cents. That's where that valuation comes from. Okay, now with cryptocurrency, obviously it can go up, it can go down, it can stay the same. A lot of different things can happen. Okay, so I'm never ever going to say, hey, this is where I think it's going to be. Okay, I have my personal feelings on it. I believe that it's going to do really well for a lot of different reasons. Again, going back to the ecosystem and everything else they're building. But that's me personally. Everybody else, do your due diligence on it. But that's where we got the 2 cent valuation. So you purchase a rig for $4,000 or a terahash, a mining agreement. $1,380. That would be, they charge $115 a month to maintain that. Now, anybody who's ever mined cryptocurrency, especially at home or anywhere, there's colocation centers, there's data centers, whatever you want to call them, they're going to charge you a monthly fee, no matter what. The beautiful thing about what we do is you receive a commission on the monthly fee. I can tell you a true story. I had one center, I was using 3 different places because I had different rigs in different places and different mining. I've been mining for a little while, even outside of Kala. So I've been using different data centers and stuff. I had one that said, hey, if somebody uses us, I'll give you $5 off of your bill. I'm like, wow, $5 off of your bill. So I saved $5 a month. It's not a big deal. And that's about the best I've seen out there. Now, I can't make a residual income off of $5 off of a bill one time. And so what's nice about this as we get into this, you can see how you can get in, not only receive cryptocurrency, but by referring other people, you can actually receive a residual income that can add up very quickly. But here's the cool thing about it. 4,000 right now, if you had at the rate, today's rate, now this will change it will dilute over time, because as more people join the network, there's 6 million kala being mined per day. So as more people join, you may not receive 5,000 kala per day that some members may be receiving now. It's going to eventually lower. That's why it's important to get in now while they're paying out higher, because the more members that join, the more members that come in, those numbers will decrease, and so you'll be receiving less CALA in the future. But at a 2-cent valuation, where CALA is right now, if you had this for a year, you'd make about $28,800 on a $5,300 purchase. So really, really cool, really good. Now, if it goes up to 4 cents or 8 cents or something else, you're making a lot more. I know what the goal is. I'm afraid to say it, but the goal is a lot higher than 4 cents. Okay, they're really pushing and pushing and pushing to make this a very valuable coin, token, whatever you want to call it, coin right now. And so, that number is a lot, much further north than 4 cents. But again, let's not speculate where it may be. Okay, I stay away from that because we're really not allowed to talk about that stuff. But there's a lot of things in process right now that I fully believe, those of us who hold CALA will be very, very happy we have it. So we have great products for customers with $50, $100 gigahash contracts, and we're teaching our customers to become coin collectors. Not just CALA, there's going to be 10 different coins. Now, these coins are being chosen, selected by people in the business like David Childs, specifically, really, David Childs is the main guy that hand selects these coins. He's been in this game for a very long time. He's the CEO of Mintage Mining. I like the fact that David can go and do all the research, due diligence, and say, hey, I believe that this coin, and what's nice about this is I can choose whether or not to purchase this coin through Nui. I can say, I just want to stay with CALA. That's it. I don't want to do anything else. Or I can look at the coin and say, I'm going to do some research on this, and maybe that could be a good idea. I might want to have these coins. So I can collect as many coins as I want with very small maintenance fees, which is like a fraction of what I would pay for a monthly full service fee if I was mining, because these start at $15, $30 a month, $90 a month, $60, where most colocation centers will start at $85 and up. Now, sometimes you'll receive more coins and stuff like that, and we'll go through how all of that works. But our members receiving a recurrent income from the $15 and $30 monthly hosting of the coin contracts. This is very important, okay? Members here, listen very carefully. Prospects, listen very carefully, okay? There are a lot of companies, I will not name them by name, never do, that are not compliant because they are paying and using other methods. We are paying our commissions out based on the maintenance fees, just like when I was using a data center that said, hey, if you send somebody our way and they use our service, I will give you $5 off of your monthly maintenance fee. That's what they did. 100% completely compliant. 100%. That's what we're doing. The same thing. Off of our monthly maintenance fee, not the mining results, not anything else. Our mining results, everything, those are personal to us. Off of our monthly maintenance fee, we're taking a portion of that fee and we're paying commissions in the form of referral fees. 100% compliant. That's very, very important to note. Okay, I think that's overlooked a lot of times that people really need to understand, because a lot of these companies are not doing it the compliant way, and that's why I choose not to be involved with a lot of them. Okay, there are 3 types of thinking about Nui Social. As a coin collector, that's someone who just wants to come in and collect coins. They don't want to refer anybody, and that's 100% fine. I just want CALA, John, or I want CALA and a few of the other 10 coins. I want those coins. Great. You can totally do that. As a member sharing it, get it for free, thinking you refer enough people, you're making enough commission, your maintenance fees are basically free, or you're making a residual income out of it, which could be substantial as we go through this. As a coin collector and network, somebody that say, hey, let's potentially profit on our coins and also potentially profit on referring others as well. So there's kind of the best of both worlds in here. You can do it either way, or you can do both, okay? This is my favorite part. You must purchase a CALA gigahash in order to purchase additional coins. That is amazing, because a question I get a lot from other members is, well, if we're promoting other coins, won't that hurt CALA? No, because you have to have CALA, because this is what's going to happen. If there's 21 billion CALA out there, we know there'll be 21 billion created. There's been 6 billion created and shared monthly. Okay, eventually that's going to run out. Eventually, I mean, it's going to take a while because 21 billion is a big number. It just takes 6 million and divide it by 21 billion. There's your math, you know. And so eventually, call will run out. Well, we want to be around for a long, long time. So that's why we're going to identify other coins that you can collect as well. Okay, and you may hit on some and you may not, and that's why doing your due diligence is important. And that's why I like to share a lot about Kala going into this presentation. Maybe a little longer, but that's okay because it goes over enough information to give somebody a great starting point to say, hey, I want to really research this coin, and now look at all these awesome places I can go and these links I can look at to make sure that I am making a smart decision here, right? An educated decision. Okay, so let's talk about commissions a little bit and the agreements. So let's talk about the agreements a little bit. A $50, $100, $200, $500, $1,000, whatever it is. Okay, and again, get with the person who sent you to this video, and they can go over all of those. If you pay $50 a month and you $50 one time, $15 a month will give you approximately 1,500 call it a month right now. Okay, and so basically what's going to happen is a 1,500 call a month. Do the math on that. Take 1,500 and times it by 2 cents right now on that current valuation. That's $30, correct? I'm spending 15, and right now off of our current valuation before it's gone to the public exchange or anything, I am my asset right now is worth twice as much as what I'm spending right now at 2 cents. Okay, again, that could go up, down, all around, all over the place. Okay, so but that's fantastic. So I can say, look, I could sell this someday, and whatever you profit is going to be based on what you sell it for when you sell it. Whether it's on the peer-to-peer when new people coming in need to buy Kala, they're going to have to buy it from somebody, put a listing up, you know, and sell it there, or hold off like what I'm doing, wait till you're on the external exchange and do it. Okay, $100 gigahash, $100 and $30 a month. You receive 3,000. So for $30 a month, I'm receiving $60 of coin per month at the current valuation of 2 cents. So I'm receiving twice as much of what I'm paying for right now. That's like buying Kala for 1 penny instead of 2. That's like when you're if you want to do well in cryptocurrency, be one of the first adopters. Okay, it was cool. Well, I was lucky. I got in. They did a buy one get one, you know, free kind of thing, a BOGO or whatever they wanted to call it. I was able to purchase a bunch of Kala for 1 cent. Then I purchased a whole bunch of Kala for 2 cents. But I was so thrilled when I got it for 1 cent. You guys are essentially, any new members getting the same thing. You're getting Kala for 1 penny. Do the math. Okay, 1,500 Kala at $15. That's 1 penny. $100, 3,000. You're paying less than some of us early adopters are the same. So it's really amazing to be able to have the ability to do that now, even this late in the game. So before it goes to the public exchange, just do the math on that, guys. Okay, so that's what you're doing. And again, there's more. It goes up to 200, 500, 1,000. You know, $1,000 I believe is 30,000 call it a month at $1,000. One time $1,000. Then you're paying your monthly fee, which I believe is I had to look at it. I believe it was $57 a month, and you're receiving 30,000 call it a month. 30,000 call it a month. Okay, and you can go back up to that chart up here. Let me go up here a little bit and go through that. Sorry, give me a second. I probably should have focused on a little more over here on the gigahash agreements. You can kind of go through this chart here, and on my next call, I'll post another chart that has that. Right now, this is more for the commission that we can make for sharing it. So let's go through here really quick. Okay, so what we want to do is we call it 10 in the pen, 10 in the personally enrolled network. Okay, I can sit on my Kala, I can earn, and sell it when I decide to sell it. Okay, well, either on the peer-to-peer in February, or I can sell it mid-year once it goes to the external exchange. You know, whenever that may be. June, July is the target date. And so I want to get 10 members in as soon as possible. Why? Because we're on a 310 matrix as far as referrals go. Everybody that comes in and they say, okay, I want to buy just Kala, and I want $50, and I want $15 a month. Great. I'm only gonna make, you know, I'll make a couple dollars, like $2.50 for signing them up. You know, this is fine. but I'll make it every month, $2.50 a month, every month, 250, 250, 250. Okay, then the other part of that, I'll make 50 cents a month for anybody they bring in. 50 cents doesn't seem like a lot, but what if they got 10 people? And then they get 10 people, they get 10 people, they get 10. It adds up. It adds up very quickly. When you see these charts, it's almost mind-boggling how quickly it adds up. If they go to any of the products that we have that are $30 or more a month, then you're making $1 a month, not 50 cents. So say you have 10 members, you're making, you make your initial, say at $100, you're making $5 instead of $2.50 because you're making $5 initially every month because you get. So essentially what happens is Nui's paying out half of the fees that they collect every month. They pay it back to us in referral fees. They keep 50%, they pay out 50%. That's how it works. We want to get 10 people. Why do we want to get 10 people? Because we are what we call unlocking different lines, different whatever you want to call them, and there's so many different names for them, but different lines. Okay, 10 different. So as these people refer people, it goes 10 deep and 3 wide. So there could be over 59,000 people in your matrix. Could be a really big, large number. Now nobody's going to do a complete matrix. It never happens. Okay, I've never seen a perfect matrix, but I'll tell you what's beautiful about us that makes us so unique and so different to other groups that have similar types of things is retention is fantastic. If you are paying 1 penny essentially for a token that's got a current valuation after their ITO of 2 cents, are you going to stop paying your $15 a month, or do you want to keep acquiring 1,500? No, most likely what you're going to do, you're going to say, you know what, I might actually up it. I might go to $100. I might pay $30 a month. Now the person above me is making more commission because I went ahead and I want to receive more coins. I want to collect more tokens. I want to collect more coins. So I collect coin number 2 or coin number 3. Well, guess what happens? If I collect $100 of coins, of coin number 2, the guy above me now makes $2 a month. I do 3 coins, he makes now $3 a month. I go up to 10 coins, he makes $10 a month. If I have 500 people below me doing 10 coins, I'm making $5,000 a month. Right? So it's just it's amazing how quickly, and I'm only paying my $30 a month fee, but I'm making $5,000 a month because I have 500. But now I'm not going to go out and personally sponsor 500 people, but I can tell you, team, I have a team of just under 2,000 people. I brought in about 40 people. So 40 people that I brought in personally, but I have over 2,000 in my team, or right around 2,000. So how do you do that? Because you help them, you assist them, referring others. But here's what's great. Even if I had 0 people on my team, I would still pay my monthly fees. I would still do it. Why? Because I want the call-out. I love call-out. I love cryptocurrency. I'm excited about some of the other coins they're talking about adding to this list, which I cannot say what they are now. So even if you ask me after that call, I'm not going to tell you. Sorry, I'm not allowed to say. It's sworn to secrecy. But they're vetting some coins now that I'm pretty excited about. Okay, so here's another thing that's great. Each coin requires a separate wallet that we have full 100% access and control. Some of these coins that they'll be collecting are coins you can sell tomorrow. You can sell the next day. We can purchase coins now that are already on external public exchanges that we can turn around and sell right now. Now, there's some coins they're going to pull and they're going to add to it that are still in basically the early stages, so they're not on public exchanges yet. So there's going to be a mix, a healthy mix. So anybody that's looking at this is just investment only, doesn't want to build a team, they can say, look, I can look at, pick and choose which one of these coins I want, and I can get them for very relatively low prices right now through this. That's pretty awesome. It's pretty amazing. Okay, now again, the crypto market goes up and down, just like anything else. That's why it's very important to do your due diligence. That's why I'm presenting all of this information so you can make the right choice. Now let's talk about builders, people who want to bring people in. This is phenomenal, guys. Okay, so if you look at, say, all right, I've got 1 person in the pen or 10 people in the pen, and again, I'm going to say this person enrolled network a lot, and the reason I'm not diving deep into this, because then this call will be 2 hours, get back with the person who shared this with you, because they can explain what the personally enrolled network is. Okay, they can explain the 3x10 matrix. They can do all that for you. Okay, this is just to give you enough information to raise questions and encourage you to do your due diligence and things of that sort. Okay, so right here, you go in there and say, look, okay, I've got one call a coin, and say I've signed up my 10 people. They've all signed up their 10. It goes all the way through the builds the matrix. Okay, now I'm making a nice chunk of change. In fact, I'm making $88,000 a month, which is $1,062,000 a year. Now, what if somebody does coin number 2, coin number 3, coin number 4 or 5? Or you could say, you know what, I want to make, I don't know, $3,276 a month. What do I need to do to get there? Okay, well, I can do that just on call out. I can say, all right, I got to my 7th level. I've got 2,187 total people. Okay, and there's dynamic compression in this, which is really cool too. Okay, and what that basically means is if people leave above you, whatever, they're not paying their monthly fee, they don't want cryptocurrency for whatever reason, they don't want the call, or heaven knows why. I certainly want it, but say they don't, so they don't pay it. This compresses, and so it's really nice. And so 2,187 people seems like a lot, but again, I only had 40 to start with. I have right around 2,000 right now. Okay, so it can happen very quickly. Say at coin 3, or just to call a coin, they're paying their monthly fees. They're making about $3,279 a month on commission. Okay, they have 4 coins going. Same amount of people, and most of them using 4 coins. You're making somewhere between $3,200 and $13,000 a month, but you're paying anywhere from 15 to 30. If you have a terahash agreement, you're paying $115 a month max, 115, but you're making thousands. So you can quickly make it just by sharing this message. But what makes us unique? We're not selling water. We're not selling magical pills. We're not selling things that are overpriced. That are say, all right, I have a whole garage full of stuff that I can't use. We are selling something that could potentially be a huge ascending asset to somebody. I say potentially. I always say potentially, okay, because I'm never going to make guarantees. I'm never going to make promises, because if you do that, then you're crazy, because you can't. But based off of what I've researched with Kala and some of the other coins they're talking about, I have high confidence that they'll do really well. Hopefully you can get there too. But refer to this chart as often as you like. And if you look at the total at the end, at the very, very end, that's the annual. The monthly is the one right at the 10. This is the monthly. This is the annual if you add it all up. Some people get confused by that, even though it says yearly right there at the bottom. But I just want to point that out. So wrapping things up for you. Step 1, I register for free, open a Kala wallet. I can only register for free and not pay my $150 a year fee if I register by February 1st. I purchase a $50 to $1,000 gigahash or 4,000 terahash or a rig, whichever one. Again, get with the person who invited you, whatever your comfort level is. Start acquiring Kala, get your Kala, get the gigahash, and then I become commission active. That's all you have to do. You don't have to bring in a certain amount of people. Your first person, you have commission. You will receive commission on your first person. Okay, and just all the way down the line. Then you save your Kala or sell your Kala to your new members. Remember, people are going to have to come in after February 1st with 2,500 Kala. A $50 gigahash unit is 1,500 Kala. So in order for them, they're going to have to be somewhere between $50 and $100, to hit that 2,500 Kala threshold, get in. Who are they going to have to buy that Kala from? You or somebody on the peer-to-peer network. That's the only way they're going to be able to get it. I can tell you right now, members are getting in now are lucky, because they're going to they'll be able to get in before Kala, the value may increase on the peer-to-peer, because there's going to be a lot of demand for it. So because you're not going to have to sell it to them at 1 cent or 2 cents or whatever, you can sell it to whatever you believe is a fair asking price and whatever they're willing to pay. That's whatever the market. That's part of that organic market that we're creating. So again, this is pretty much the same chart we went through, so I won't go through this again. But 10 levels deep autofill. This is so great. Dynamic compression. Those are some terms that people that have been in the industry will really understand exactly what these mean. But 3x10 autofill, dynamic compression. But retention is great because people want to continue paying their fee. Now here's the kicker. This is what's really cool. You want to talk about retention? Imagine being able to use your own call after February to pay for your maintenance fees. So I had somebody ask me that this morning. They said, hey, she signed up the other day. She said, hey, could I pay my $15 a month fee with my call? I said, yes. But remember, you're only receiving about, out of 2 cent valuation, you're receiving $30. You're giving up half your call monthly to pay that fee. You really want to do that? She said, no, I'll just pay the 15 bucks. But it's up to her though. That's what's so cool about it though. It's up to her. She can sell, she can just use her call ad to pay, and the company will accept it after February. That's fantastic. So one of the biggest issues in recruiting anybody is in any kind of network marketing is retention. It comes down to retention. Imagine being able to use what you're purchasing to pay for your monthly maintenance fees, just half of it, and then roll it back. And when you get to the higher dollar amounts, the thousands, you're paying a lot less than half of it, but you don't even have to come out of pocket again after February again, once they start accepting call as payment. That's pretty phenomenal, guys. That's pretty amazing. Just think about that. Then what happens to the risk? It like diminishes. Okay. Now the risk is always there. It's always going to be existing, and because this could go to zero. It could. Anything could. I highly doubt that'll happen. Okay, but it's possible, I guess. But I don't see a lot of these companies, putting in that kind of money and time and creating this ecosystem if they're very fearful that this is going to go to zero. That's kind of my 2 cents on it. So last slide here. Core, reach, call it. Oh, actually, there's one more slide after this. Apologize. So right here, core and reach. These are other ways that we can help create value within our ecosystem even prior to going to the public exchanges. We talked a lot about core as a place you can go in there, and there's a link at the very bottom of this page. And if you go into, when you watch these presentations, go into slideshow from beginning. Otherwise, you can't click on the links. It has to be in full screen to be able to click on these hyperlinks, okay? So look at that, and then you can go on this callacoin.io, call a listings, and peer-to-peer. You can read about the peer-to-peer network. You can go to our Facebook group right here that talks all about core, all about reach. You can learn all about it as a place where you can go in there and you can earn points that will convert to Kala or can be redeemed in our redemption center called Reach. Here's a cool thing too. This is for members and people. Looks like January, this is a month they're pushing hard to be able, hopefully by the end of the month, don't hold me to this, hopefully by the end of the month, to be able to start exchanging core points for Kala. That's coming very soon. That is another thing that is a primary focus, okay, is converting core points to Kala. Right now, you can redeem your core points into Reach and buy items right now. You can do it. I don't recommend it, but because I'd rather have the Kala, but it's entirely up to you what you do. But that's really cool to be able to have that part of our ecosystem. So last slide here, how to sign up. Link, it shows you, get with the person who referred you to this presentation. Click on this link below and it walks you through the entire sign up process. You can pay in Bitcoin, you can pay in other different cryptos, a couple different crypto options, or you can pay with Trident, which you can actually use your credit card. There's a small fee, I believe it's around 7% maybe. So on $100, it costs you like $7. But basically, you can purchase Trident, which will convert, and with your credit card, and that'll convert to Kala or whatever, Bitcoin, whatever it is, and it will purchase your hash agreements for you. It takes at least 2 business days to go active in the system and start receiving Kala after you've made that purchase. You need to purchase whatever, depending on whatever gigahash package you purchase, you have to add in your first monthly fee with it. So if you do $50, you need to pay $65. If you pay 100 for the gigahash, you need to pay 130 initially. You need to pay that initial monthly fee to start receiving your Kala right now. So with that, guys, that's all I have, other than do not forget to ask the person who referred you for their personal referral link, so you end up being sponsored by the correct person and not just by somebody out there in cyberspace somewhere. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and end the recording. We'll start a Q&A here in just 1 second. Let me end this and give me 1 minute.